programs can reach everybody at the grassroots. For us, restructuring means ability, that kind of system that will allow you to deliver better. And in our own way, we've started. The acting president then issued an order to the police that they should start implementing, community policing. That is one aspect of, restructuring that we believe will deliver better criminal justice. So we as a government, we look at our constitution as it is today, and we follow strictly what the constitution says. But in applying the constitution, we look at also the practical ways of reaching out to people.
In other words, the constitution doesn't seem to be sufficient in addressing some of the things that, in addressing the everyday needs of
well, you see, the
Nigerians.
Constitution is the ground norm today. That is the document, the basis of our being together, the base of governance. And you cannot today, as a government, do anything which is contrary to that Constitution, because that is the supreme law of the country. So even when you talk about, restructuring, you might need in the process to amend certain, provisions of the Constitution, and we all know how cumbersome it is for this amendment. But we are not averse to genuine grievances. We are ready to look at them. But what the government cannot do is, is act on this cacophony of voices. Let there be something that is, structured, something that is, concise. We'll look at it.
Whose responsibility is it to make it structured?
Everybody. Those who are asking for it, and those, who are agitating for it. Like everybody just has to be structured. And if you ask 10 people, they have 10 different definitions of restructuring.
Some people will say that the onus is on government to ensure that they're able to make sense of the cacophony of voices, because the different needs of people elected this government for different reasons. Some wanted it to fight corruption, some believed that it was going to devolve powers, which is yet to happen. Different reasons, and these reasons will reflect in different parts of the country, louder in some areas than some other areas. Don't you think it's the duty of government to extract the meaning from the noise and move ahead with it?
The essence of governance is to be found in the Constitution. And whatever you do which is outside the Constitution is null and void.
So why did this government promise devolution of powers?
And I said precisely, we have started on our own understanding devolution of power, and we are starting with the community policing.
Well, let's go to another pillar of this government, which is to fight corruption. Now, the president has recently signed some treaties which will majorly see people, especially with the UAE, who live in Dubai or other areas, people accused of corruption being extradited to Nigeria. Some people think it's a good idea, but then they also believe that how do we know that people who are extradited from those places can actually come home and face justice? Is it their concerns that we're yet to fix the in-house mechanisms to ensure that, justice is delivered here in Nigeria?
Well, I think this mutual legal assistance treaty is the first step in ensuring that we actually tackle the other leg of corruption, which is corruption corruption affecting those who are alleged to have stolen public funds, but who today have either invested those funds in countries outside Nigeria or who live there. And the mutual legal assistance, it's a common treaty between countries. Now, it's a first step, and I do not think we should start doubting whether it's going to work or not. Let's look at what does the mutual legal assistance say. It says that the UAE will assist us to repatriate such stolen funds, and when necessary, also extradite such people. When they come here, then they have to contend with the domestic laws here.
Well, there are definitely more questions for you from my colleagues in Lagos.
Good morning, Alaji. Well, we've heard what you said about hate speech, but we're a little confused about something. There's a comment here which we also heard General Enenche while he was on our program News at 10. He did say, quote, in the military, we are now taking it more seriously than ever. We have our strategic media centers that monitor the social media to be able to sieve out and react to all the ones that will be anti-government, be anti-military, and be anti-security. So there are those who think that is government hiding under the guise of classifying hate speech as terrorism to actually go against those who say certain things against government, saying that is government intolerant of opposing views?
I think all over the world, it is the responsibility of the security arm of government to monitor people's, utterances, people's behaviors, and then and advise, the government accordingly. Like I said, it does not mean that the military is going to pounce on anybody simply because, he's involved in hate speech. But at least the government will monitor this.